Hey AP US History students, Mr. Abajian here. Why are you watching this video? Because you want to knock out your Unit 1 exam, and every exam for that matter for the rest of the year here. This video is going to give you websites, skills, resources, links, strategies to be able to use so that you are successful for the rest of the school year here. So here's what I need out. I need your Unit 1 yellow cheat sheet packet that's got the review here along with all the attached materials to it. I also am going to need you to get out as well your Unit 1 homework overview. I'm going to show you how these two work. Now, if I were staying organized, what I would have is a binder, and in that binder I would have tabs, one of those saying Unit 1, and I'd throw down the Unit 1 homework overview in there, the cheat sheet, every homework assignment we've done for Unit 1, which is listed right here, Chapter 2 and Chapter 3, as well as any class assignments and any other work that's associated with it. Now, if I'm also taking a look, the summer assignment would be good to be in there. So, if you're just keeping notes on how to stay organized, that's one of the best ways to do it because there's so many handouts in this class. Alright, let's get rolling. How am I going to use this review sheet? Well, what most students will first go to is they'll look at it and they're like, okay, there's a bunch of vocab terms I need to know. I'm just going to memorize what the Great Basin is and Great Plains, and I'm going to memorize the Iroquois. And I'm going to tell you it's not what it is, but how it's applied. It's the whys behind these, not so much what they are, the who, what, where, when. How to use this review sheet. Let's read. The purpose of this review sheet is not to revisit the whole unit, but to refresh your memory about the subject matter covered. The proper nouns can be used, and here's the key, as evidence to help you answer the thematic essential questions found in the unit overview handout. So, wait a second, Abajian, you're telling me I need to know what they are. Yeah, bottom line, like I've asked you, what is a visible saint? You need to be able to tell me what it is. But more importantly, you're going to need to be able to apply it and connect it to overarching themes so you can see how it all fits together. Now, I've tried to help a little bit by organizing some of these vocab terms for you that you'll need to know that are here. But more importantly, let's use the thematic essential questions handout that you have for your homework overview. Now, let's take a look. These questions are strictly for review purposes. These are where they're going to come into play. These are the 8 themes that we have for the unit that's here. And each one of these themes has a number of questions that are attached to it. And so what we've done is I've listed for you questions here that you're able to take the proper nouns here and answer them. Now, you don't have to turn these in. They're strictly for review purposes, but it's a great tool. So, for example, let's talk about, let's do geography and environment. How did pre-contact populations of North America relate to their environments? Okay, so if I'm going to my homework overview here, I'm going to look at the Great Basin and the Great Plains. And I'm thinking to myself, Great Basin, Great Plains, super dry, desert-type climates, and I'm going to associate with them the pueblos, right? The irrigation, the mud huts, the irrigation techniques that they use to bring in water that's there. Fantastic. Well, Abajian, okay, I get that. Let's try another one here. How about this? Migration and settlement. Where did different groups settle in Americas before contact, and how and why did they move to and within the Americas after contact? Well, let's use that Great Basin, Great Plains apart with the pueblos again. This time, though, the Spanish are the ones that arrive. Remember, they're arriving through the southern part of the U.S., Mexico, Central America, that's there. That's where you've got the maize and the three sisters that they're going to try to perfect from the Aztecs that are there. They're going to bring their smallpox and their measles that are there. And eventually that's going to relate into the Pueblo Revolt due to the encomienda system where they enslaved the natives that are there. Now, did you hear that? In all of those answers, I gave proper nouns using the evidence that's here in order to answer these overarching questions. So when you come to answering them, it's not just giving me an answer and moving on. It's being able to plug in these proper nouns so now you know why they connect. That's here, and that's going to help with your studying process that you have. So keep that in mind. The overarching themes that you get for this review sheet are going to help bring them together. It doesn't have to be turned in, though. Okay? Now, wait a second, Abajian. If this is the pinnacle about how I'm able to use this, like it's a guidepost to tell me where I need to go, it's going to help with your multiple choice, but specifically, scroll down, it's going to help with your long essays that are here. So what I'm going to do is every unit, I'm going to list a number of different essay prompts that I can potentially ask. And for long essays, which we'll have for the next, or for Unit 1's exam, I'm going to choose 2. So 2 of these, word for word, are going to be on the exam itself. What do I want you to do? I want you to brainstorm. I want you to use your review sheet here, your cheat sheets, your homework, to bring in these proper nouns to help you as you fill in your essay that's here, so that you can put it in your brainstorming web, devise a thesis, talk about it with other students in class so that you're prepared. You don't have to write out the whole essay before coming into class. When we do this in class, this is just, once again, for studying purposes, in order to demonstrate your knowledge of proper nouns and the arguments that you're going to be able to use. So I hope that makes sense of how you can use these 2 handouts simultaneously and how they work together. Now you might be saying to yourself, Abajian, that's sweet. What are some other references and resources I can go to? Well, I'm glad you asked. If you go to and type in Mr. Abajian into Google, you'll find Mr. Abajian's class page, and from there you can type, or you can click and get to my website. From the website here, here's where I want you to go. Number 1, I want you to go to the website links. And what I've done is I've placed a star next to the ones that represent the most important links that I have found for APUSH websites, resources, and any other types of practices that are out there. So all of those that have stars, I would definitely take a look and see. Anything else are really just interesting sites to go to and check out. So let's review. Adam Norris. Boy, this is the big one. Every year I ask students what was the most helpful website or resource they went to. They always come back telling me it's Adam Norris. Now you're familiar with him because the AP textbook chapter review videos are here. We've got Brinkley's edition, which is our textbook in class, and you've been using it hopefully before doing your Cornell notes or your questions. Now, for review purposes for a unit exam, this is where you're going to go to the new APUSH curriculum here, and you would click on the periods that we're being tested on. In this case, if I'm looking at the periods that we're being tested on, it's period 1 and 2. So if this is period 1, what I love in what he does is he'll take a key concept like 1.1 and he'll break it down for you. He also does 1.2 as well. He's got some downloadable fill-in-the-blank PowerPoints if you want to help. They're usually about 10-12 minutes long. It cuts out all the BS that's in your textbooks and gets right at the point. It's a great review video to be able to use. You also have very specific topics that he goes into, like the encomienda system and others that he does a wonderful job of being able to explain. He also does the periods reviews in 10 minutes as maybe just a precursor right before jumping into the exams as a good little review. So you've got period 1 and period 2 that's there. Even less than what you would watch for a TV show with the amount of time you're taking for this. Adam Norris is brilliant. And why do I love this guy? Because once you get to your AP final and AP test at the end of the year that's here, with the new APUSH curriculum, you can go all the way down to his final exam review, which I love. He does a part 1, 45 minutes, a part 2, 45 minutes, and that is an hour and a half, and he reviews everything in American history to prepare you for the exam. Love it! Now, let's talk about a guy that's a little bit more charismatic, a lot more humor. Jock Z, APUSH teacher out of LA, California Teacher of the Year. This dude is amazing. And if you go to his website, APUSH Review here, periods 1 and 2 explained, he's got some humor that he uses in here. And he's also got the textbook chapters, which we went over already. There's our American History Brinkley. He's a good one to go to if you're interested in looking through some of those parts. But what I love is his writing in the APUSH. He's got some informative videos of how to go about tackling your long essay, short answer questions, DBQs, historical thinking skills. He's humorous, he's funny. If you prefer him and the way he does his videos over Adam Norris, I'd say one or the other to choose. Now, in a distant third, and when I say distant third, is my website that I've got that's here. If you go to YouTube, you can go to Mr. Abajian's YouTube videos and playlists that are here. You'll be able to click on some of the videos that I have for a number of my classes. But if you go to the playlist itself, you can click on the APUSH videos that are there and take a watch through a number of these things to help you out in a more local context. Now, wait a second, Abajian. What about those proper nouns? What if I just want to know the level 1 stuff? Of Quizlet is a great one to go to, but keep in mind this. I see students use Quizlet. I'm a little hesitant because you don't know if they all check out and are accurate because they're user created. So would you be careful of that? But if you're talking about flashcards that are here that you're able to use to get level 1 knowledge, it's an easy way to do things and to look at it. But again, be cautious of making sure that the information is accurate. Well, what about those things for the 30,000 foot view? Well, I've got a brilliant website for you called the Gilder Learman website for APUSH. And what it does is it breaks it down by periods 1 through 9 that are here. And they give a 30,000 foot view of the entire period with a brilliant video that goes along with it. Now, if you click on a period itself, what you're going to be able to see is you're going to be able to see a video that you can watch for that viewpoint. You can see the key concepts. They got a great timeline that's super interactive, primary documents, videos from historians. It's a fantastic checkout to help with that overview. Now, if you're talking about actually wanting mastery and practice, I got 3 sites for you to check out as well. If you're into Khan Academy, they did a phenomenal job with the APUSH curriculum here, as you can go through mastery points for each one of these periods that we have here, as you're working with actual practice rather than just being talked to in a video. Also, depending on the year, Albert.io is going to be a phenomenal resource depending on if we've purchased it or not. I'm going to let you know if that's something we'll dive into for the year or not that's here. But it aligns with your exam itself, with the key concepts once again, and it's just pure multiple choice practice where they're going to give you that STEM that you have. Let's bring it up here. Picture, primary source, then you're going to be able to do multiple choice questions. Another source offered to you is by signing into your College Board account for AP and going to AP Classroom as well. Those are all great things to use. But the number one studying source is this. The number one studying source that you have is each other in class. I can't tell you, I am just one teacher, but you are all teachers as well. And one of the ways of being able to really get down this content, curriculum, and skills is to teach each other. And so what I'm going to be asking this fall semester is for you to jump into what I call study groups. And you can go all the way from just you and another partner to maybe the entire class. And my hope is that you're meeting, and we'll be doing this every unit, that you'll be meeting outside of class with these students, filling in this study session sheet with the date, location, having a signature of an adult witness, tell me who was there, what you studied, what you detailed. And essentially, it's forcing you to come together to study with one another. And you're going to find the best learning is going to take place when you're helping each other out. And it's going to develop our classroom community. This is the pinnacle. This is what studying is all about, is being together to be in this, to be able to rely on each other. Some people may see different things that others might not, and that's your chance to jump in and help one another out. When we test in class, you will be turning in the sheet of paper to me to count for an easy 10 points, as we'll be doing it just in the fall semester. This is going to develop a family culture in what we do in class. The very last thing, by the way, if you're going to my website, after you've gone through the links, there's one more thing I want to point out in homework and handouts. If you scroll down in homework and handouts, this is where you can find all of my resources, handouts in class. But if you scroll all the way down to timelines that are here, I've got 2 timelines that you can check. One of them being more thematic, as it brings it up here. And so you're going to be able to see across themes, how it works, and how it can connect with one another. Another thing is more of the political, economic, social side of things, year by year, that can help out. Essentially, you may feel overwhelmed watching this video right now and saying, man, there is a lot of places I can go to. Choose what works best. The essential is to start, though, with the homework overview and the cheat sheets. That's a must. And then from there, I would suggest doing one of the videos, Joxy, Adam Norris, and then choose what works best for you. Find your rhythm, make it work for you, knock out that exam, and get that A. All right, get after it, everybody.